Hello students, this is Dr. Sujata Magdum, Assistant Professor in Zoology, KTHM College, Nashik. I'll be dealing with immunology for MSc 2 Semester 3, and today's topic of discussion is immune response belonging to first chapter, that is Introduction to Immune System. In this immune response which I'll be discussing today, the main focus will be only on cell-mediated immunity. Students, you know that immunity is concerned with imparting protection against any foreign particle which has invaded into the host system, as a result of which the host body interact with the antigen and shows specific reactivity. These specific reactivity which are induced by antigenic stimulation into the host body is called as immune responses. This is actually a kind of protection against any pathogen which makes its entry into the body. This could lead to consequences which would be either beneficial, indifferent, or it could be harmful. There are basic two different types of immune responses which are shown by the immune system, and the first one is cell-mediated immunity, which is abbreviated as CMI, and the second one is humoral immunity, or it is abbreviated as HI. This humoral immunity is also called as antibody-mediated immunity, that is AMI. Now, both of these, that is CMI as well as AMI or HI, they develop together, but of these two, any one is predominant. That means sometimes either the CMI will be more dominant over HI or AMI or vice versa. This acts very exclusively in other cells, we can say, and sometimes may act together, but it could be in opposite manner. Now we shall see in general the basic difference between the cell-mediated immunity and the humoral immunity. Cell-mediated immunity happens to be very specific immune response which protects against intracellular organisms like any fungus, virus, bacteria which has entered into the cell will be protected with the help of cell-mediated immunity. This cell-mediated immunity also helps in defining the rejection of homografts or the grafts versus host reaction, indicating that it plays a very important role in transplant immunity. Moreover, cell-mediated immunity shows immunological surveillance, and there is pathogenesis shown by this cell-mediated immunity, which is of delayed type of hypersensitivity reaction number 4. Now, let us move ahead with antibody mediated immunity or humoral type of immunity, which is defined as HI or abbreviated as HI. This antibody mediated immunity is generated when the B cells, they are stimulated, and these B cells get transformed into plasma cells. So plasma cells, either they are seen circulating into the bodily fluid or into the blood, and these brings about interaction between the extracellular pathogens like bacteria or viruses which are into the circulation. As a result of which the plasma cells start synthesizing the secretory substance which is proteinaceous in nature, and that is called as the antibody. This humoral type of immunity, it participates in pathogenesis of hypersensitive reaction type 1, 2 and 3, and it also plays a very important role in autoimmune systems or responses. The cell-mediated immunity, now we shall go into the details. You know that cell-mediated immunity is a specific type of immune response shown by the organism, and it was first described by the Jenner in 1798. Now, this first description was noted when he inoculated vaccinia virus in individual and found the development of erythromatous papules. In the same way, Koch in 1890, he also performed certain experiments and carried forward the study of cell-mediated immunity and noted an exaggerated cutaneous reaction of tuberculosis. Later on, the study continued and till date, many of the scientists they are working in the field of cell-mediated immunity. This cell-mediated immunity participates in intracellular parasitic infections, which are both obligate or facultative, and brings about protection. The best example noted is with reference to the bacterial parasites which are responsible for cause of tuberculosis or leprosy. In the same way, the fungal infection leading to histoplasmosis or coccidomyosis, along with parasitic infections like leishmaniasis or trypanosomiasis, viral infections like measles and mumps, all of these are seen imparting certain kind of infection leading to diseases and is being taken care by the bodily cells with the help of cell mediated immunity and brings about protection. As I stated in the earlier slide, this cell mediated immunity it plays an important role in transplantation immunity because allografts or the graft rejection which is usually seen is under the influence of cell mediated immunity. Moreover, type 4 type of hypersensitive reaction is also shown by cell-mediated immunity and it plays an important role in immunological surveillance and immunity against certain kind of pathogens, right? So we'll move on to the next now to understand the induction of cell-mediated immunity. Induction means how this cell-mediated immunity comes into action. As I said, that the nature of antigenic stimulation, it plays a major role in bringing about the action of cell-mediated immunity. It is best developed when there is any infection of virus, bacteria, pathogen, and these are seen inside into the cell. That means I can say that cell-mediated immunity, it shows its maximum action when the parasites are seen intracellularly. Further, killed vaccines and live vaccines, they show less effectiveness, but the live vaccine shows prominent, you can say prominent effectiveness only when it contains certain adjuvants. Now we'll move on to the action of this kind of cell-mediated immunity. Antigens which are present outside the body and if they enters into the host body, then they are seen residing into the cells or infecting the cells. Such intracellular pathogens or the bacteria, when it enters into the APC, that is antigen presenting cell. The best example for antigen presenting cell, you know, there's macrophages, dendritic cells or certain kind of mononuclear cells. Now these are in initial stages in active condition prior to the entry of pathogen. But once the pathogen enters, then when it enters into these macrophages or dendritic cells, they become active and these activated ACP, they help in interacting with immature T cells. That is, the immature T cells with the help of their TCR are seen binding with the MHC1 molecule of the APC. As a result, now APC and immature T cells, they form a complex and then this complex, it leads to bringing about activation of immature T cells which gets differentiated into the T helper cells, that is CD4 cells and CD8 cells. After or upon activation, these CD4 cells and CD8 cells, they are responsible for secretion of large amount of lymphokines. This secretion, that is lymphokines, it acts in as a co-stimulant, as a result of which whatever immature T cells are present into the vicinity, they become activated and they bring about the phagocytic activities. As a result, we can say that this CD4 cells which are responsible for phagocytosis are showing interaction only when there is an intracellular parasitic infection. What about CD8 cells? CD8 cells, you know, these are the killer cells, and these killer cells, they can identify pathogen which is outside the cell. That means it CD8 cells, they are important in showing pathogenicity against the extracellular infections. Now these CD8 cells, they recognize antigens on which uh, antigens because the surface of the virus or the infected cell or the tumor cells or allograft, they show certain prominent antigens which can be identified by CD8 cells, and as a result of which the CD8 cells show their action. Now let us see the details of lymphokines. Lymphokines, as I said, are secreted by the activated T cells. These are biological substances and are also called as LAPs or PALs. LAPs refers to lymphocytes activation product, and PALPs refers to products of activated lymphocytes. Now these lymphokines, they are categorized into different types with their biological activities. They can be categorized as follows. The first group are called as lymphokines affecting macrophages. The first one of it is migration inhibiting factor, which is also called as MIF. This migration inhibiting factor inhibits the migration of normal macrophages and migration of peripheral leukocytes and of the lymph node cells are also inhibited by lymphokines, but the nature of this factor is not very clear. The second one is macrophage activating factor. This macrophage activating factor increases macrophages' adherence to the glass phagocytic capacity, certain biochemical activities, bacteriostatics, and tumoricidals, uh, which can be indistinguished from MIF. The third one is macrophage aggregating factor, that is called as MAF. This macrophage activating factor causes aggregation of macrophages in suspension. The fourth one is macrophage chemotactic factor or MCF. It causes migration of macrophages through millipore membranes along with the gradient. The fourth is macrophage resisting factor or MRF, and these MRF renders macrophage non-specific resistance to infection with certain pathogens. The sixth one is macrophage anti-spreading factor. This macrophage anti-spreading factor inhibits spreading of macrophages on glass surfaces. And the last one in this category is cytophilic factor, which is called as CF, and this confirms action against the macrophages which are showing specific reactivity with antigens. The next group of lymphokines affect are those which are affecting the lymphocytes, and this category includes the first one, blastogenic or mitogenic factor, which is abbreviated as BF or MF, and these BF or MF have the ability to induce blast cell transformation and brings about incorporation of titrated thymidine into the lymphocytes. The second in this category is potentiating factor, or it is called as PF. This potentiating factor helps in transformation of mixed lymphocyte culture or antigen stimulated culture. The third one is cell cooperative factor or CC, and this is also called as helper factor or HF. Now this helper factor or HF, it helps in increasing the number or rate of antibody forming cells. The third type of lymphokines are seen to affect the granulocytes, and it includes inhibition factor or IF. This inhibition factor or IF helps in inhibiting the migration of leukocytes The second in this category is called as chemotactic factor or CF, which causes migration of granulocytes along a gradient. The fourth type of lymphokines, they are seen to affect the cultured cell. And in this category, the first one is lymphotoxins. These lymphotoxins are cytotoxins which are seen showing their action against cultured cells. The second one in this category is proliferation inhibiting factor, which is abbreviated as PIF or colony inhibiting factor or CIF. This colony inhibiting factor or PIF inhibits proliferation of cultured cells without lysing them, or you can say without breaking them. The last one in this category is interferons, and these interferons helps in imparting protection against the viruses and brings about inhibitory effect on malignant cells and a regulatory effect on the immune responses. The last type of lymphokines which are studied here are showing their action in vitro, in vivo. The first one in this category is skin reactive factor, or it is called as SRF. This skin reacting factor induces the lesions in the skin of delayed hypersensitive reaction. Possibly a combination of several factors bring about this kind of interaction with the skin. The second in this category is inflammatory factor, or it is also called as IF. This inflammatory factor or IF is responsible to increase the vascular permeability and other inflammatory changes on the normal skin. The third one in this category is transfer factor or TF. This mediates passive transfer of cell-mediated immunity. The next one is tissue factor. This tissue factor is also called as procoagulant factor, and this helps in incubation of plasma cells, and which brings about the prolonged clotting time, or it increases the clotting period, in other way we can say. Osteoclast activating factor and colony stimulating factor also plays a very important role in showing in vivo effect. There is a small correction here. I have mentioned as in vitro, it should be read as in vivo. Thank you.